Everyone, it's Think About It Thursday, and I'm Tina Shelke, a change management coach and consultant, and our company is based in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
And I'm Michelle Jarabic. I'm a musician and operations manager at Change Management.
And today we are going to talk to you about discovering your purpose and, really connecting with your purpose as a leader so you can be at cause and move change forward. Lead others through change, recognize your purpose, honor that, and accomplish what it is you set out to do, that next thing that you're up to. Okay, everyone. Today's episode, we're going to talk all about discovering your purpose and aligning with your purpose to lead the change that you're leading, to encourage yourself and others, motivate, and get stuff done along the way. So connecting with your purpose is a big part of being a leader and a big part of accomplishing change. Oh man, last week we talked a little bit, Michelle, about our purpose, and we barely touched on how difficult it is to discover and rediscover and uncover what your purpose is. Like, I remember working with you when you were uncovering your purpose, discovering what it was. And that was really cool. But I have like a billion questions. So one question I have for you, if it's okay.
Wait, so I'm the guinea pig today?
Yeah, you're the guinea pig, because I think it's a great way for others to think about their purpose. Like the Think About It Thursday goal is think about your purpose. Do you know what it is? And if you don't, what are you going to do about it? And if you do, how do you connect with it? How do you remind yourself and others, and how do you use the energy from your purpose to accomplish change and lead others? How do you stay, being at cause is staying in alignment with your purpose and connecting what it is you want to accomplish with your purpose. So it's kind of important to figure out what your purpose is if you haven't, right?
You realize more and more once you figure that out, which it was a constant battle, with me. I'm like, oh yeah, it's this. And then I'm like, wait a minute, but it could be that, or it could be that. And to put it all in a line and then focus on what it actually was that I was trying to get out and connect with was also changing in my head as we were talking about it. So
sure. And then you have to test it out, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to test it out. Is this really my purpose? So what started you on that path to figure out your purpose? Like what was the big motivation or drive that went, aha, that's going to be important?
Instead of feeling like I was, a mouse on one of those wheels that kept running around, doing things. I was so busy doing things all the time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember Michelle before she discovered her purpose and connected with it. Michelle, before she discovered her purpose and connected with it, was a powerful superwoman that was frustrated.
And it felt right. Like once I just felt better because I had the why figured out.
Yeah. So Simon Sinek always talks about what's the why? What's the why for your business? What's the why for yourself? Yeah. What's the why? That's really purpose. So start with why, Simon. Yep. Love it. Start with why. How is always yes. Why are you doing it? Okay. What do you want to get done? Okay. How? Sure. Yes. Let's get it done. Right? It's kind of how it works. So questions I like to ask people to help them uncover their purpose, and ask myself as I continue to explore the depth of my purpose and get closer to what it really is. So I know that I'm constantly evolving and narrowing in. Like I have this big picture idea of what my purpose is, and it's about advancing leadership. It's about putting people above all else. Like people are the ones who matter most, and everything else is kind of like we talked about cause and effect, everything else is an effect, right? But people really are the cause. So to keep that purpose in alignment and then discover, okay, what else and what else and what else. And what I've discovered even in the last year is, okay, advancing leaders, like what specifically about that? It for me, it's really providing the structure and the space for people, for leaders to connect with their purpose and be their best. So sometimes that structure is providing some training. Sometimes it's being a coach and really asking some questions and exercising some ideas with a client. Sometimes it's consulting and really listening and being at cause with another leader to assist, be that great teammate to get the job done, to help with leadership, help with the communication, help get that purpose out with great clarity and cause. So let's get down to the nitty gritty questions, right? So questions I like to ask people, and maybe I ask you these questions, and I'm going to ask you while we're talking about this, think about what I ask, because so many times I trust my intuition with a client and I ask the questions that are kind of bubbling up for me by listening to them. But a good question that I ask often is, what kind of problems do you like to solve? Like there's always going to be this shit show in life. And which puzzles do you like to solve, or problems do you like to solve that really feel rewarding? That's sometimes part of the question. The other thing is, what do you like to create? What do you create? What do you want to be known for? What do you want other people to know about you? Two different questions. They sound similar. What do you want to be known for? Is a little bit different than what do you want other people to know about you? Because sometimes we have things that we keep private, and sometimes we have things that we really want people to know no matter what. Sometimes I like to ask, what is true about your life now that your 8 or 9-year-old self would be just totally upset about, crushed by?
We all go through that, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
But
I
that's
connected with my purpose a while ago. I would say probably 12 or 14 years ago. And then after that, I've been like reconnecting and going, oh, but it's this part of it, really narrowing in on what part of it is mine to do and what isn't really mine to do, and letting go of some of that. It's hard. It's hard. And sometimes, well, I have to ask you, so when you are in alignment with your purpose, when you are choosing to do, right? Take action. So a lot of times we're doing, but when we're doing from a place of being and being at cause, so that purpose connected to your purpose, like if you go back 2 years, what percent of the time do you think you were doing from a place of being at cause, taking action from being at cause, or doing for doing's sake? Like how would you divide up that pie?
I know some days would probably be higher, but certainly, or lower, depending upon how you look at it. But
Yeah.
man, I think I was operating at, just definitely on most days from a level of frustration, but I still enjoyed what I did and am doing. So,
Yeah.
but there were a lot of tasks attached to what I was trying to do. And like you said, those may not be for you to do. And finding out, we all have a job to do, right? So that
Yeah.
collaboration part was so key, and it still is so key. So it was probably about 20%, 30%.
Yeah. And that seems low, for somebody who's a friend and a fan, right? Somebody who enjoys your art and your music and your friendship and your family. Like as an observer, without knowing you intimately, as I got to as a coach, right? Um, I would have guessed different. I would have guessed, oh, Michelle's at cause probably 80% of the time. She just
maybe when I'm on stage, I like the performing part for sure.
yeah. And even being a mom, right? With somebody that you knew as a friend, but not like a close friend, not as close of a friend as we become, right? Not as close as we know each other. As a mom, like you looked like you had it all together, this like family and marriage and everything like that, right? Like and really you do, and you always have, but now
I
you're
picked
more
a good one.
yeah, but now you're able to just be more vulnerable and honest with yourself and your family and others, right? Like it's like, oh, it's not the stage thing, it's the life thing, and we're in this, everything is compounding, and there's all this pressure and fear and disruption that's occurring during the time of a pandemic. And I look at my life and I look at, how I be and what I accomplish day to day, and I'm still pretty darn satisfied. I like, oh, this is why I'm here. This is the kind of grandma I intend to be and enjoy being, and this is paying off, right? And this is the kind of business owner I want to be, and this is what I'm committed to, and this is the kind of friend I want to be. This is the kind of family member I want to be. It aligns, and when you're aligned with purpose, there's all this stuff that can happen, and kind of like the Think About It Thursday that we did with power, right? You take all these piercings, right? And you still are able to source yourself, your energy, to go with it, to know it's not perfect and it's going to work out anyway, right? Know that the next disaster might show up at your feet or on your head, and it'll still work out.
Yeah.
I know during COVID, when you put together those Facebook Live events and the online concerts, and released videos for Copperbox and Elle McBell, you weren't sure that you were going to accomplish what you accomplished from stage in a crowd. And you saw so much evidence of community and joy.
Even though there was a learning period, and there still is, it's really cool how that was still able to connect with people and resonate and cause that effect, because I was aligning my purpose with what I was trying to do.
Yeah. So for our Think About It Thursday, I think I'd like all of our listeners and watchers, our followers, to think about what their purpose is. Think about what your purpose is. Think, is this really meaningful to me? Is this something that I would get up every day for? Is this something that I would die for, right? Like, is it something that I really, really know is mine to do and not somebody else's?
It's that hell yeah we were talking about, Tina. It's it's like,
yeah.
Do you feel that way? And if you don't, why? Why don't you feel that way?
Yeah, no is okay. You could say no to a lot of things to say
and
yes.
What are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah, what are you willing to do for it and about it? And go back and check in with that 8-year-old you and say, hey, how's my life look to you now? And really be honest with that and see what it is about your purpose that you might be missing a connection with, or maybe what you thought was your purpose wasn't at all. I mean, for a long time I thought my purpose was something different than what I know my purpose is. If I really, really want to be vulnerable, like I think I spent all my growing up years and a good part of my grown up years, right? So the beginning of adulting, I was really I thought my purpose was to make everybody else happy, especially my parents or my boss, or somebody. Like I was seeking somebody else's, like I would measure my happiness by somebody else's happiness with whatever it was I was doing. That was none of it. That was not my purpose. It was not my purpose at all. But I thought that was my purpose. Like my purpose on life was to make other people happy. Well, no, I was missing out on my own happiness. And I was generally, and still, still am, always have been a generally happy person. But
Can I get a ho, ho, ho?
oh, yeah, a happy person. I
He
had a
got
pretty good
claws.
Santa ho ho ho. Yeah. Yeah. I'm missing that beard that's long and white, and I'm grateful for
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But I
that's all
think I got
good.
the cherry nose and the rosy cheeks, and yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
think about your purpose, connect with your purpose. Where is it working for you? Where isn't it? What's getting in the way of you fulfilling your purpose? What are you going to do about it? And if you need a coach, call one. There's lots of good ones. And Michelle and I are here to help too. So if you need to have a conversation, we're here and available. It's a lot of fun to discover your purpose and reconnect and connect deeper with your purpose. So, okay, since it is the season of giving, and since I happen to know this great musician who's a talented and really our favorite operations manager, but primarily musician who likes to bring joy and community to everybody through her music. We've got another giveaway. We have another giveaway. So Michelle, let us know what it is.
all right. We'll share that with everybody to get you in the Christmas spirit.
Oh, it's so fun. Thank you, Michelle. And
You
thank
bet.
you, everyone. Go out and live your purpose. Bye. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.